Are we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We're not live, but we're recording. But yeah,
I mean,
we are live.
smart.
We are live. Hey, I'm Dina. I'm here to talk about some of the regrets I have from my wedding. Wedding planning, not the fact that I actually got married or that I actually had a wedding. I'm glad I did, even though it was during COVID. It was December 6th, 2020. Looking back at photos, it was perfect, it was beautiful, but there's just a lot behind the scenes that I wish I had done differently. And this is just like an overview. No particular order. I just want to start with how planning a wedding by yourself is very hard. I wish I could go back and have hired an actual planner or someone just to help me get more organized and understand like what it takes to plan your own wedding, because it's a lot of work. There's so much that goes into it. It's also very lonely and isolating because you have to kind of figure out, make all these decisions by yourself, be it like colors that you want to go with, how you want your tables to look, what centerpieces do you want, all of that kind of stuff. Having to do it on your own, I don't recommend it for anyone. I think having a planner, if a family member is too busy or no one can really have the same time dedication to weigh in on what you would want for your wedding, having a planner who kind of does it for their day-to-day job is excellent. So wish I had done that, regret that I didn't, but hopefully this is a tip that you can take away and that you can learn from. I really wish I took more bridesmaids photos the day of. I felt like my brain was just so scattered, and if I had hired a day of planner, then I could have given that day of planner like, hey, make sure I get like this list of photos in. A photo of me with my sister by myself, with my brother by myself, one with just me and the bridesmaids in both outfits because I wore a white dress and then I also wore a traditional Indian dress. So I wish I had photos with both outfits with my bridesmaids, but I was just so scatterbrained the day of, like you're just kind of going through trying to make sure that everything goes according to plan, hitting all your markers. Those things just aren't at the top of your mind at the moment. I did end up printing like little programs of when things would happen, and then it didn't actually happen according to the program. Things were kind of just like flustered, got pushed back, or were moved up a little bit earlier just so there's like more time on the dance floor. So I didn't think that those were very useful. I think you can forego that. Yes, it looks pretty on the table for photography. Maybe if you want to just print like a couple just for photos, cool, but I don't think it's necessary to have it on each table. I think that's just an added expense for no reason. Another thing that I really wish I spent more time on was vetting my photographer and videographer. We had an amazing photographer. He was so caring, very passionate. It felt like he really knew us as well, and he took the time to do that. Like he did a video FaceTime call beforehand. He took the time to understand who we were as people and like asked us questions. I felt like I had like this professional relationship with the photographer we were hiring, and I loved that. Even day of, like their energy was incredible. They were so present. They did a lot of extra things for us without even us asking. It's probably the one, and I guess the two things, video and photography, that I would recommend you splurging on, because that's what you're going to be left with after everything is said and done. So I do wish that I vetted my videographer a little bit more. I even told our photographer, like, I really wish that I just like went with you guys for video, but this is how it ended up happening. So maybe this tip can help somebody else walk away with it. And if you're in the process of planning your own wedding and you're looking for a photographer and a videographer, just look for those signs that this is somebody who actually cares about the job that they're doing and has a lot of love for that and a lot of passion for it, because you'll really get not just a great product and a great result, but you'll get to work with some really incredible people. And that's something that I loved. Another tip I have is just to really focus on finding like a really great tailor. When I found out that the one that came highly recommended was not available, I started to go into panic mode because I really needed someone to sew in a fabric into my dress so that it's not see-through. And I found this one woman who I thought would be great. Her Facebook page and everything showed that she actually makes wedding dresses. But unfortunately, the end result, it was good, but it wasn't great. There were some parts that I think that should have been worked on and managed a little better. Like my collar, the lace was uneven. It was, unfortunately, wasn't just done properly. But then we trusted her enough that we gave her my husband's Shervani to try to like cinch it a little because it was a little too big on him. And we didn't end up trying it until the day of the wedding, which probably was our mistake to not try it on earlier so that we could have fixed the issue, but it ended up being completely botched, unfortunately. If you're planning your wedding and it's coming up, just remember, don't sweat the little things, don't stress out, let things go, because what you're gonna be left with is that gnawing feeling of, oh, I just wish I just let things go, I wish I was just more relaxed day of. It's gonna all happen, it's gonna go by so fast, and it'll be over before you know it, so you might as well just enjoy it while you're in the moment. I'm curious how your process went when you planned your wedding. You know, what are things that you regret? What are things that you wish you did differently? What are things that, you know, are tips that you learned along the way that you want to share with someone else? I would love to hear all of it, and I look forward to hearing how your experience was when you did your own wedding.